There's a quote that every marketer knows. John Wanamaker, this guy, he ran department stores in the late 1800s, one of the first retail empires. And he said, half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half. That quote is over 100 years old, and every single digital advertising platform that has launched since the internet began has positioned itself as the one that finally solves this problem. They all say, we figured it out. Give us the money. We'll show you which half works. And I want to walk you through what actually happened, because we are watching the same exact playbook run again right now with AI. Google AdWords launched in October 2000. About 350 advertisers. And the pitch for them was, for the first time ever, you only pay when someone actually clicks on your ad. Not impressions, not eyeballs, clicks. Advertising is finally measurable. It's finally accountable. 2 years later, they switch fully to cost per click, and marketers lose their minds. This is it. We have solved Wanamaker's problem. We know which half works now. Except conversion tracking doesn't come until 2005. So for the first 5 years, you know who clicked, but you don't actually know if they bought anything. You just know that they clicked. That's it. And cross-device attribution, like did the person click on their phone and then buy on their laptop, that doesn't show up until 2016, 16 years after the launch. So for 16 years, the we figured it out story was running way ahead of the actual reality. But that didn't matter because the promise was so powerful that a whole cottage industry formed around it. There were Google AdWords certified experts. There were agencies that specialized only in pay-per-click, conferences, courses, certification, an entire economy built on the belief that Google had solved advertising. And did it solve advertising? No. The marketing industry only grew. There are more marketers today than in 2000, not fewer. And the Wanamaker problem? It's still there. They just put new words on it. November 6th, 2007. Mark Zuckerberg stands in front of 250 marketing and advertising executives in New York. It was a room full of executives, same as always, and he says, and this is from their press release, Facebook ads represent a completely new way of advertising online. For the last 100 years, media has been pushed out to people, and now marketers are going to be a part of that conversation. Completely new way. The last 100 years, same language, same pitch. We figured it out. And that same day, they launched this thing called Beacon. Beacon tracked what you did on 44 partner websites. Your purchases, your reviews, what games you played, and it broadcast all of that to your friend's newsfeed without asking. It tracked you even when you weren't logged into Facebook. Even after you opted out, it was still sending data back. And it ruined people's Christmas surprises. That's real. People were buying gifts for their spouses, and Facebook was posting that to their feed. Hey, your husband just bought a necklace on Overstock. Merry Christmas. MoveOn.org got 70,000 signatures against it. Zuckerberg had to apologize publicly. They shut it down, paid $9.5 million in a class action settlement. The whole thing was a complete disaster. But did that stop them? No. 5 years later, in 2012 and 2013, they came back with custom audiences, the Facebook Pixel, conversion ads, and lookalike audiences. Now, they really had the whole retargeting and attribution story dialed in. Same promise, new attempt, better execution. So what happened? Another cottage industry. People who specialize in just a pixel. People who specialize in just retargeting, just lookalike audiences, courses, certifications, agencies. An entire economy once again. Did it solve marketing? Nope. The marketing industry grew even more. And it's not just the ad platforms. I remember when Zapier came out and people were making workflows and automations and you can drag and drop, and it was crazy. You would watch YouTube videos and someone was explaining their entire sales system. Someone filled out a form and it sent an alert and it created a task and it moves them into this pipeline. And you would look at these videos and you're like, wow, that person is really doing something. It's never been possible before. We're getting to the point that we're not going to need salespeople anymore because clearly this tool can do all this work and all these triggers and all these actions. And of course, we still have salespeople. Of course we do. Because the thing on the surface, the automation, the workflow, the trigger, that was never the hard part. The hard part is always the thinking that goes on underneath. The judgment calls, the relationships, the context, all of that. There's a book that I want everyone to read. It's called Future Shock by Alvin Toffler. It was written decades ago, back in the 70s, maybe. One of the things that really stood out to me is he talks about how executives back in the 60s, when computers were starting to become a thing, they were completely convinced that secretaries could not be replaced. Because at that point, every executive had a secretary. And the belief was that you needed secretaries to communicate. How else are you going to communicate? What, are you going to just write messages to each other as an executive? No, that's absurd. The idea that an executive would be sitting at a computer, typing, needing to know typewriting skills to send messages, that was considered outrageous. And now every executive is glued to their phone, checking messages, checking emails, responding to Slack, and that's just what executives do. That's the normal thing. Nobody thinks twice about it. We normalize things incredibly quickly. And once we normalize them, we forget that anyone has ever thought that it was impossible. We forget the resistance, we forget the fear, and we start this whole new cycle over with the next new thing. Which brings us to today. December 2025, Meta acquires Manus for $2 billion. Manus is an AI agent company. Meta embeds Manus into the ads manager in 7 weeks. The fastest product integration in Meta's history. 4 million advertisers now have access to AI agents that can automate reporting, audience research, campaign analysis, everything. This is the world's biggest ad auction, running their own AI, on top of their own AI-driven algorithm that they've had for years. And the pitch? It's the same exact pitch. We figured it out. Give us the money. Don't even sweat it. Take our course. Take our certifications. Do you think that they figured it out this time? Do you think now they're done? That's what they want you to believe. Because their business is to get other businesses to pay them money. They're an ad auction. You don't become a $1 trillion company by accident. This is their business plan. You get a generation of marketers and business owners to believe that the hard part is handled. Just give us the budget and we'll optimize. And now we're going to see the same exact cottage industries form once again. Over the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be Google certified AI agent experts, Meta certified AI agent experts. People who are like, well, I know exactly how to work the AI agents so they can write you a better ad. All of it reinforces the belief that someone else has it figured out. And it just so happens that it's the ad auction themselves that figured it out. And that they're the ones who are benefiting the most. Is that a coincidence? So, 2000, Google says advertising is finally measurable. 2007, Zuckerberg says that there's a completely new way to advertise. 2012, Facebook says that they can track every conversion. 2025, Meta says AI agents will automate your whole advertising. Each time, same pitch, same room of executives, same cottage industry of certified experts. And each time, marketing didn't get solved. It got more complex, more specialized, and the industry continues to grow. I'm not saying that AI is a lie. That's like saying that computers are a lie or that computers are hype, that computer science is a lie. That wouldn't make any sense to say. What I'm saying is that we keep getting sold the same idea that someone has it figured out, and nobody has, because there is no it to figure out. So we're going to go back to the Wanamaker problem. Half the money is wasted, and I don't know which half. And for 25 years, every platform has said that they solved it. None of them did, and none of them will. Not because the technology is bad. Google ads work. Facebook ads work. AI agents will work. The technology itself is real. But the idea that it replaces the thinking, that it replaces the judgment, that it solves the Wanamaker problem once and for all, that part is the sales pitch. That part is how you get millions of businesses to hand you over the budget. The tools change, but the pitch itself doesn't. The people who understand that, they're the ones who actually know which half is working. They will continue to do the work. They will continue to layer on the thinking that is necessary underneath to make marketing work, to understand the context, the signals from the market, pick out the insights from the conversations, from the relationships. In the same way that engineers who understand that writing the code itself is only part of the engineering problem. In the same way that generation, content generation, and image generation, that's only part of the problem. And there is no one tool that will solve the entirety of the thing. So where does this leave us? You can't fall for the hype that marketing is solved. You can't fall for the hype that product development is solved or that engineering is solved. Yeah, maybe we don't need to write the code by hand at some point. Maybe that's true. The thinking, the engineering that goes into that, the technical expertise, the attention to detail, all of that doesn't go away. And when you believe that there's a tool that takes all of that away, that is where you get it wrong.